Our man Terrence is a taxpayer that just realized he owes $10,000. His bank just offered him a premium 8% annual interest rate if he uses their brand new rolling savings account. The tax agencies haven't caught up, and Terrence is smart enough to check that arrears interest rate is only 7.8%. If I wait until the last possible second to pay my taxes, then I can keep the money that I owe in this rolling savings account and collect that 8% premium interest. So that's exactly what Terrence does. His rolling savings account pays him $800, the premium interest rate. But when the tax agency applies the 7.8% interest rate compounded daily, it turns out that Terrence's plan actually costs him money because of a difference in compounding calculation. All this effort cost Terrence $12 in extra taxes. Terrence is not very happy. So the next year, Terrence tries even harder, identifying a fantastic investing opportunity, but this time, there's a much bigger difference between the 60% return he's gonna get and the 50% that the tax agency will charge him. With a 10% difference, Terrence knows that he's finally gonna outsmart the tax agency. But once again, he forgets about compounding. After committing to this for 5 years, everything plays out exactly as Terrence planned. But the little difference between compounding daily for the tax interest doesn't get any better. In fact, it gets significantly worse. Earning 10% more on an annualized basis led to Terrence losing $14,819 on a $10,000 starting balance after only 5 years. Compounding is simple. You want to get paid compound interest as fast as possible and pay it to others as slow as possible. But trying to outsmart others based on annualized returns alone is a very dangerous game. Learning this is important. What if these had been two investment opportunities, one company generating 60% returns versus another company generating 50%? Luckily in this case, both companies will make you money. But not knowing that company B's 50% returns were compounding faster under the hood would be exactly as costly as Terrence's experiment that we just saw. Knowing is important. Knowing what your standards are is the first step in deciding when to make change to your investment portfolio. And you imagine what a day in the life is like for your business. Because truly, this is the only way to get a sense for what compounding is for your investments in action. Are you investing in a fast or slow business cycle? Are you investing in something with pricing power? Every time your investment does something, how do the competitors respond? Even simple answers to these questions could make a huge difference between you understanding if you're here or accidentally lagging down here. Let me give you a taste of how much understanding a business cycle matters. From summer 2016 until now, Salesforce, which has a fantastic business cycle for compounding, has grown revenue by 367%. Earnings per share responded to that by increasing 1,255%. That's an earnings per share pass-through of 3.42. Very elite. I'd like to just draw your attention to Salesforce charges monthly subscriptions for software services. Every month it gets to collect more money. If it notices opportunities to change prices, waiting until next month is kind of like doing it right away. On top of all that, Salesforce sells critical business software that affect thousands of employees for every single one of its customers. All of this means that every time Salesforce spends money to improve its software, it gets to see the benefits of that very quickly. A short, compound-friendly business cycle. Compared to Lockheed Martin, which also since summer 2016 till now, has been by many accounts a successful investment to hold. It's grown revenue by 71%, and its earnings per share have grown by 127%. But the difference is in the business cycle. Lockheed Martin takes a very long time to sell its very complicated products, and then it sells to government agencies that have essentially control of what Lockheed Martin gets to charge. Oftentimes, Lockheed Martin is locked into 5-year contracts with its customers, meaning that every dollar that Lockheed Martin spends on improving its products really won't have an effect until they get to negotiate in as much as 5 years ahead. All of this comes together to explain that Lockheed Martin has an earnings per share pass-through of only 1.78. Lockheed Martin is a successful investment, but anyone comparing these two businesses can easily make a mistake about which one is the better compounder of capital. And understanding what compounding looks like in practice is the secret to capital gains. The more you can talk about business strategy, the actual performance of attempts to compound, what competitors are doing, and the opportunities versus risks for compounding right now, the more you can control the rate of compounding of your personal investments. So please, remember that annualized returns are a useful tool, but they do not replace the ability to understand your investments business cycle. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram to get hints about future annual report walkthroughs. And thank you for watching until the end.